How to kill your friend and almost get away with it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm G and I do true crime videos Mondays to Fridays. So if that's something that you like, consider subscribing. And also, if you have a case suggestion, let me know in the comments. So guys, I saw this video and I was like, it's a case that's really open and closed, so it's not too much to talk about. But there are so many falters in the guy's case, and I'm just wondering how you should have done it differently to be able to get away with it. So let's just watch the video and talk about it as we go.
Family asked Rand Hooper to speak at his funeral.
We never dreamed he was somehow involved in Graham's death.
For weeks after Graham's body was found floating in the water where Carter's Creek meets the Rappahannock River, Rand told investigators that he, Graham, and another man played cards and drank on the dock of his parents' river house, and then they all went to bed. When Rand woke up, Graham was nowhere to be found, and Rand speculated he had gone out on the dock to call his girlfriend and fallen into the water, or perhaps he had a panic attack and went to the emergency room. He even watched.
Okay, the crazy part is who called the police? Because the first one was just like, I don't know, the first thing that came out of his mouth, he went to call his girlfriend and fell into the water, and you did not feel like, okay, where is he? Trying to call him and try to get maybe help to kind of rescue him whenever he got up. And secondly, he had a panic attack. In the midst of a panic attack, he had the strength to call 911, and they had to come there with all of the sounds and sirens and everything, and no one has an idea. He was still probably sleeping, and Graham was able to get into the ambulance, go to the hospital, and he has no idea about it. So that was really like stupid in different levels of stupid, like classified level of, that was really a dumb confession, period.
As Graham's mother used an oar to search the water by the dock for her son.
I thought Rand Hooper was a close family friend.
But 25 days after detectives recovered Graham's body, his family received some shocking news. Rand had just told detectives in the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office that he and Graham took a boat ride in the early morning hours of August 11th.
Wait, so he said that the friend had died the previous day, or I don't know when to call his girlfriend, whatever, and he had not seen him that day. And 10 days after, he tells, like, this is just how to change your name from whatever your name is to suspect number one. He changed his story to having seen the friend that day in the morning, which makes you the last person to have seen someone who is no longer alive.
In 2017, Hooper said he could not remember who was driving the boat, but he remembered the...
Come on. He could not remember who was driving the boat. It simply means like, hey, I don't remember my name, because it's obvious that when he says I cannot remember, it means he was driving the boat and he does not want to take responsibility for whatever happened while he was driving the boat, obviously.
The boat hitting something hard, turning the boat's engine off, calling out for Graham, and when he didn't see or hear him, he figured his friend was a good swimmer and could make it to shore. Got his bearings straight.
Okay, you guys can see the view from the lake right now, and if someone is drowning, like even if the person is across there and is swimming, and you are going to be able to see the person from wherever you stand in that lake, you'll be able to see that, hey, someone is that way, or you'll be able to at least call out to them and they'll be able to answer. And it's crazy how such an incident happened and he totally forgot about it and remembered everything with all the details, and remembered all the ways his friend could have escaped 25 days after 25 days after telling the police his first story.
Straight to the tides in, and then remembered nothing after that.
Never expressed any remorse or said they were sorry.
Obviously.
Anything. It's just such a sense of betrayal that my family feels.
The revelation came after Lancaster detectives discovered a Boston whaler boat at the Hooper home with a large amount of damage that matched damage on the bulkhead where they found Graham's body.
Exactly. I was beginning to wonder, like, why did he even bring up the story? Why would you even turn yourself in by telling the police that, hey, I remembered something? So the police found the boat, they found the marks on it and everything, and hey, whose boat is this? Then he was like, Oh my gosh, I remembered. Now that you have found the boat, I kind of remember, like, I don't know who was driving it, but maybe he fell into the water and maybe he swam to, come on.
But when police charged Rand in connection with Graham's death, that was only the beginning in the McCormick family's 4.5 year fight for justice.
2.5 years ago, when things went sideways, I felt
Oh,
alone. I felt abandoned. I felt like my family was, well, kind of left out in the cold. And I
exactly.
prayed and I asked God for warriors. In this case,
You know the kind of mental torture this can inflict on someone who remains alive. I mean, it's horrible to be dead, but the people who remain alive and feel like they have no definite answer, they don't have closure as to what happened to someone that they really care about, and there's nothing that they feel powerless because there's nothing that they can really do to get like more answers and a definite justice probably for the person.
had more twists and turns than a bobsled run.
From 2017 until now, the McCormicks endured a plea deal thrown out by a judge, a prosecutor who had his law license suspended, another prosecutor who was removed from the case, new, more serious charges, and COVID delays.
I've spent the majority of my 20s waiting for justice for my brother.
On
I feel so bad for her.
Thursday, their long wait finally came to an end when a Norfolk jury found Rand Hooper guilty of involuntary manslaughter and failure to stop and render assistance in a boating crash.
Okay, so obviously, if this was like a natural accident, there's already so many things that he did wrong, and there's so many things that he could have done that would have gotten ahead of the crime, and probably he would have come out clean if he came up with it first. Like, we'll talk about that at the end of the story.
The judge revoked his bond.
My life has been on hold. And for the first time, I really feel like I am going to be able to move forward.
Once I saw that the handcuffs go on, that's when it became real, and that's when I felt like it was time to turn the page, and I got my life back.
Next up in this case, the judge will determine Rand Hooper's sentence. Now, during the prosecution of this case, they were not allowed to bring up Rand Hooper's prior record of DUIs, as well as the time that he shot his friend while drunk
What?
in the Fan District. But during this
Okay, so it's official. This guy has absolutely zero regard for any human life. He cares about no one but himself. Like, and respectfully, he's a spoiled brat because he has been driving, like, when he was driving under the influence, he had no idea who he could hit and what accident and what lives he could potentially destroy. And a lot of people do that. Yeah, fine. What about taking a gun and actually shooting his friend while drunk? That shows how all his friends' lives are in danger because he feels like partying.
sentencing phase, the judge can consider those things. Working for you in Richmond, I'm Melissa Hippolyte.
And the maximum sentence for this is 15 years. So I hope he gets the absolute max. Okay, first off, I feel like this guy cares about no one but himself. Because if this was truly an accident that he has no reason to hide, he had nothing to hide, he would have tried to make sure that he would have first off called 911, make sure that if they are at the scene and they're like, everyone there is panicking and trying to find the friends, or be like, okay, this was an accident, this happened under your watch, but you try to make sure this guy went to safety, and he'll probably be getting a year or two community service maybe if the guy ended up dying. But maybe those efforts with the help of other people would have saved his life. But the guy just suppressed everything, and when he was absolutely gone, he did not tell the police about it until they found the boat. So them being the one to come up first and find the boat, and they're investigating what went on, and you did not tell them such vital information, already makes you a suspect. Even if it was an accident or a mistake, there's no talking your way out of this. But I feel like if he came clean, he would have at least gotten a lesser sentence or would have been able to get away with it. But what do you guys think? Because how would you have escaped this? Okay, obviously he was one driving the boat, but he's never going to say that. So, and no one is ever going to know because there are no cameras facing the lake. But what do you guys think? If you were the one driving the boat, how would you have gotten away from this without going to jail? I just found it really crazy that the family loved and trusted him in such a way, like, hey, you were our son's friend, you can speak at his funeral. When he was standing there, like, he was such a good person, and you know exactly how he died, and you know how to at least lessen these people's grief, and you stood there giving that speech when you knew exactly what you had done. It's just really horrible. That was it for me today, guys. If there is a case you want me to cover, comment about it. I'll probably put my Instagram somewhere or an email. At least I should start an Instagram account. I don't have one, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this, but I'll put an email where you can send me cases if you want me to cover that case, or you leave them in the comments. And see you tomorrow with another video just like this. Make sure to be the best version of yourself, and goodbye.